Hello my friends, these are lacing pins. Let me show you how I made them. I rived a piece of firewood, piece of walnut, and you can just use sticks if you want, but what I did, I wanted the darker contrast against the white, and I made the sticks slightly tapered, and I made a few extra. So let me show you what I did here. Here we're making lacing pins for the Tipi, and these are whittled down from some blanks, strips that I rived from a piece of firewood. And all that you're going to do is whittle them down. So there's not a lot to say about carving on these with a knife, other than the pins that I'm making. They're tapered, they're a long taper, and I like them being a little bit hand-worked. This is a piece of black walnut. It'll have a real nice color. It'll contrast real good with the white TP cloth. And then when I put the spar varnish on this, it'll bring out the color. Riving wood is splitting the wood with the grain, so it makes the wood a lot stronger that way. And I'm going to make, I need 11 pins. I'm going to make a few extra in case I break one or lose one. I'm going to show you how you rive a piece of wood. If you cut it wrong, you won't get a straight blank. It'll be real long, wedge shaped, kind of like this. Now when you cut this, if you try to cut pieces off the end, and I'll show you what happens here. We're going to take a notch off of this. Also, don't hit the face of a hammer with another hammer. That's a dangerous method of Okay, when you start from an edge, the thinner piece wants to bend, and it's going to cause it to cross the grain and break off. So what you want to do is have equal bending. So for that reason, we're going to cut in the middle. With this thickness, there won't be any bending, but this will allow me to run the grain, run a straight cut. Okay, then from there we're going to start splitting it in half again. And you can see here it runs fairly straight. Okay, then when you get real small, this is probably enough, but we're going to show right here. Run fairly true. I don't want to use this sapwood here, So we're going to try to cut that off. And it didn't run straight because it was closer to the end. So we're going to try to chop that piece off. Okay, there's a blank. It's a good blank. The pin that I have is a long taper, and the diameter is about maybe 3/8 of an inch, and that's what's going to go through the hole. The back end is thicker. It makes it easier to handle the peg, and the holes that are in the TP are between 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch diameter. So this isn't going straight into the hole. It's going through the hole at a diagonal, so it sees the hole as an oval shape. So it has to be a smaller diameter. So this is about the right size right here. And on the ends they were cut square, and that doesn't look natural, or it looks too machined, too mechanical. So the way I like to terminate the end is I just take on this tip about 1/8 of an inch and cut these facets, kind of like how a diamond is cut. Then I'll go and make smaller ones, a little shorter, until I get the cut completely across the end. To me that looks much more natural, or much more organic, I guess. And see right here, for this I'll take maybe a little more than a quarter. That's probably about 3/16, and just roll around like that. Walnut's a real nice wood to carve, softer wood. It is a pretty tough wood. Okay, there's the first round. Then I go half of that distance and make cuts there. Alright, that's how I like it. And you don't need to sand these when you do the whittling. The blade is leaving a smooth cut. It has a nice feel. It's not perfectly round. You can feel all these little flat facets on there, on the edges, and that has a nice organic, natural feel. What they used to do is usually just take pieces of branches, like maybe a cherry, choke cherry, and select them according to size. They would debark the ends, the part that goes through the holes, and the back side they would leave the bark on and cut decorative designs in the back and leave that on. And then sometimes when they did debark the entire piece, they would paint a pattern on the ends. With this, the TP that I'm making is so ornate, so decorated, I think this would be distraction, and I want that dark color against the white canvas. Here I'm using a spar varnish. This is made for outdoors, and this will bring the color out of the wood. If you don't varnish it and just leave it natural, what will end up happening is it will weather and it will turn gray. Even though it's a walnut, it'll be gray just like barnwood. And anytime I'm doing a finish, I like to set my wood or items on a triangle, like on a point. So it has minimum contact with the surface. Thanks for watching, my friends. Bye-bye.